Hey RATBAGGERS, it's Jade today giving you grounded news. Big maybe changes coming in the winter update with the Ladybug turret and its mount. It's basically not going to be a multiplayer mount anymore. Also more confirmation of certain things returning in the future like pets. And is the lizard too cool to leave out? All that plus how you can get involved in helping Obsidian raise money for charity by watching me and other creators do a new challenge and take part yourself in a building challenge or an art challenge. We've set up a special Discord for the community to just join and watch, take part alongside us and maybe enter to win yourself some prizes and help raise money for charity. So guys, leave a like if you find this video useful. Let's go. So it looks like Eric was sick today and Chris, he was busy as well for the Casually Grounded. So we had Shyla and Marco. Now the thing here is they also had Marcus just show up and he revealed a bunch of info. So Marcus is the executive producer. So he started off by really going deep about how they are kind of talking about making changes to the Ladybug. And you know what? I think they need to do this more. This is exactly what I've been talking about. Instead of waiting always till the update hits and then we get hit with all the new content, giving us little sneak peeks of how things are going, what would we think about certain things, concept art or showing mechanics or something, or just discussing how maybe sour might work or building might work in the future. That can maybe help inform their choices and not have them basically have to revisit stuff again. But let's see exactly what Marcus had to say.
What we're finding with the multiplayer component of the Ladybug buggy, it's not quite working out how we wanted it to.
Okay.
Like it's a little bit like the fun just isn't there like right now, and we're gonna keep iterating on it. And this isn't me here saying like for sure the Ladybug buggy won't be multiplayer, like a multiplayer focused buggy. But it might not be. We might have to change those plans. And this is one of those ones where I'm kind of saying this early. Typically we wouldn't do this, right? We would hold out until like the very end and we kind of say like, oh, like surprise, we did this other thing. But we're kind of putting that out there. And I'll explain some of the reasons why it's not going to be multiplayer. One of them is the real estate on a Ladybug. As we keep trying these things out,
Oh no, I ran back in.
Ladybugs feel big, but they're not quite as big as they might like initially appear when you start sticking two teens on it and maybe a turret and other stuff. And so what we're kind of considering is like, do we need a little bit bigger buggy or bug to actually make that multiplayer buggy work?
And you know what, this could be spotted a mile away because anyone who's jumped on top of the buggy probably has felt like, Ladybug, it is pretty much too small. Now the concept art did look great, don't get me wrong, but when we realised we might have a turret on a buggy, it did feel like it should belong on something like a Black Ops Beetle. Basically a much larger buggy. And also hear him about making it fun. A lot of you guys on the comments of the leaked video that I did showcasing what their very early concepts were like. Some of you guys didn't want it to be multiplayer because you just didn't want to miss out on being able to utilise it properly. And I think it definitely has something to do with the actual turret itself. The turrets in Grounded 1 have just never been that fun. They've never been OP enough to really use. Even after so long when they were just ignored by everyone because they were just so useless, when they buffed them, they still weren't really something that players thought, you know what, let me go and take care of this buggy by bringing a turret so I can build it. And even around your base, they can be really a little bit weak because of the way that things happen with bugs targeting different parts of your base in raids. So one way to solve that for sure is having the turret on a buggy for sure. But I think they need to think a bit bigger, different than just loading it up with the same ammo we've got. Obviously it makes the most sense, but maybe there can be a different version that fires big stonking arrows. Maybe it can be the same arrows that you get from defeating Axel. And that way you've got the mobility of using it, moving it around your base to take care of any flying creatures or bugs hitting from different sides. But it's also really fresh. It's got something new about it rather than just the same sort of rounds before, or at least make it really something that people will want to use to take out certain bugs because they'd simply be too hard without one. So that would mean making certain creatures that would appear in the game, like maybe tier 4, tier 5, some of them really you only want to be able to kill them by using a turret. Anyway, that's just my little suggestions, but for sure I can see where they're going from. I tried it out, you could get in the turret, you can move it around, but then how are you controlling your buggy if you're just the one player? Is it a case of sacrificing movement so you can just plant it and use it? That's fine. It can't be too OP, right? And the benefits of having two players in it are obvious, that one of you could be running around controlling the buggy while someone shoots. But with all the bugs we've got in the game, how often would you reckon you'd use that? Like, when would there be a need for that to happen? like taking on a wolf spider or other creatures, they generally get up in your face. So is one player just going to be driving around and the other player desperately trying to shoot them even though they can't see anything because they've got the buggy literally glitching into them? So I won't be too sad if that doesn't make it. I will be sad though if we don't get any kind of buggy in the winter update. They could absolutely pivot the Ladybird, apparently in the game files as well at one point. It's considered they might be making it just a better way to hold or carry more resources like planks and stems. It is going to be a bit of a slow one, but if they could find a way to boost the speed of it somehow rather than just simply charging and using up all its stamina all the time, or for sure just give it speed. Let's face it, the All Weaver doesn't move as quick as it does when we ride it in the game, nor does the Rent Ant buggy, so why can't the Ladybug actually just move a bit quicker? And for now, until they can suss things out more, then yeah, it would be okay for me if they made it into just a better carrier, because the Red Ant Soldier at the moment is kind of weak, only carrying what, 12 planks or 12 stems? Given in Grounded 1 used to be able to carry over 100 stems and stuff with the right kind of gear, trinkets and more. So make it the Ladybug has literally got a pallet on its back, and you can then carry 30 weed stems or 30 planks plus be able to move one and place it down like you used to with that glitch. So Marcus was trying to gauge what he could reveal and what he can't, and he's talking about all sorts of stuff like next year's water update will be absolutely great. It's got some really cool mechanics that he's seen come along and really improve. Some questions going in were talking about things like pets, are we going to see them make a return, and he pretty much confirmed once again it'll be part of buggy progression. And we've already had that the buggies with actual pets would come, because I showed you guys actually they've already got some new actual headgear for the pets that was able to spawn in and stuff. Someone was persistently bugging Marcus about the lizard and whether or not the lizard was cool, and Marcus grudgingly replied and said, yep, lizards are cool. Again, if we look at some of the game stuff, it's pretty clear they've been working potentially on the lizard returning. Obviously it wasn't actually in Grounded 1, but it was cut content. I've been speculating it could still be part of the winter update, or it might be something a bit more slivery, but we could be wrong as well. Marcus has reiterated again that lots of stuff was really just cut and really just toying and messing around with some of the builds that we had access to. We may get even more variants than we thought in the winter update. Someone asked explicitly about maybe more infected style creatures or something along them lines appearing in the winter update. And while I didn't explicitly say infected, it did seem like there would be something else. So maybe not just the orcs, or maybe this is going to be the stage 2 of the orcs, which if anyone's paid close attention to the whiteboard in Sloane's office after you've got to the network centre, you'll have noticed or worked something out that maybe some freaking laser beams are going to be in orcs' futures. He definitely wants to hear more feedback about buggies and their uses, like what kind of buggies, what kind of role they would serve. So we've got the all-weave getting across webs, can that be improved somewhat? As well as meant to be a little bit more combat focused. The Red Soldier Ant, obviously for getting around and carrying resources. That's kind of feedback he's explicitly maybe hoping to see a bit more about what kind of use we get out of the buggies we've currently got in the game, and maybe some future ones. There was no release date given for the winter update. Shiner did kind of iterate that it's going to be like 2 or 3 months away, which is obviously in line with what we think. The PTB I personally think is going to go live early December, and we'll get the full update just before Christmas or maybe just after. They do want to improve Halloween events. They're already talking about next year's Halloween events and how they can add more stuff to it. They've seen people asking for things like funny masks or hats on bugs and stuff. But obviously early access is the priority right now, and that's why they didn't really have enough time with the launch so soon to really go gung-ho on the Halloween update. Did answer my question, so big shout out to Marks for that. I asked why we aren't seeing more concept stuff. Why aren't we having a dialogue back and forth about some of the stuff that's happening? Like the stuff listed on the roadmap, like Mushrooms 2.0 or Cozy 2.0. That kind of stuff, I don't feel like it needs to be a huge surprise launching on launch day or the PTB update day. That's the kind of stuff that could be shown. So Marcus did say that although he might not be able to show some of that stuff weekly, they are looking at other ways they can maybe show a little bit more concept art like they did with the garden stuff during the Gamescom, which was great. But it doesn't always have to be leaks. Like I said, it can just be talking about what players want from something and having that back and forth with the devs on the live stream. Like right now we've got Cozy, Sour, the Mushrooms all coming back in the winter update. So what changes are you expecting and improvements? And sure, if Marcus wants to maybe get Eric and some of the others to hopefully tease and show some concept art for returning buggies or differences and changes, that would be pretty sweet as well. But for sure, they are trying to keep that balance. They don't want to spoil surprise. They want people to be really happy when these updates hit. That's got so much new stuff. And they are worried that if they reveal too much ahead of time, then it diminishes the impact of that update, which I agree with. But I think because Grounded 2 is a sequel and it's another early access game, I just don't think it has the same impact. You've kind of already got a fan base. People want to hear and see stuff. Grounded has already kind of fell off a little bit in terms of player numbers and viewing numbers. And that's completely normal. And them small little teases or them small little discussions about certain aspects coming in, you can get that feedback earlier, then surely that makes it easier to work on before the actual update even hits. A few other things as well, that are continuously working on bug fixes and crashes, and the IDOS have brought some really smart ideas, like the cockroach being able to come back alive once you chopped off its head, as well as Axel being able to leap out from its burrows to take on any of the bugs that got in its way. But for now, definitely I appreciate Marcus coming in and just being pretty honest with certain things that he's going to answer. And yeah, expect sometimes certain things to be moved around or changed slightly with the updates. But yeah, I just hope we do get a buggy in the winter update, something new. Right, moving on to the event stuff. Each year and throughout the year, Obsidian raise money for Extra Life, supporting local hospitals and network hospitals all across the USA for underprivileged kids and kids with needs. They're doing their 24-hour live stream like they do most years, I do believe, on the 8th of November, and we want to help out and raise some money and get them up as high as we can towards their goal. And it just so happens that Apex Predator slept into my DMs and was like, hey, let's get this People Challenge up and running, which is something we did a few years ago, which I'll explain exactly what it is for creators. And then I said, you know what, let's do it for charity this time instead of just making it an event. So now we've got a Discord run by the organisers that have all chipped in together, like C Dinky, I'm Cade, Paralyzer, Chillax, Capital and Spicy. So for creators, if you're a streamer, if you're a YouTuber, you can come and join, take part in the People Challenge, and you got a chance of winning prizes. In fact, every one of these little events, you have a chance of winning an exclusive prize, which will be revealed a bit sooner. And we're going to be giving away a bunch of raffle prizes as well for people that do donate during these streams. We expect every streaming creator to have a link to the Extra Life charity so that hopefully we can raise lots of money. I'm hoping we're going to go for like 3k, that will be the goal that I think we should be able to hit. But on top of that, I will also be doing a one-off. I'll be streaming the week that this goes live, and I more than likely will do mostly Extra Life, but for one stream I'm going to support Save the Children worldwide. So it's that time of year, dig deep, go and cancel your Discord Nitro for 1 month, skip a coffee, or tell your mum and dad you don't need V-Bucks or Robux for a couple of weeks, but instead give you the money to go and donate to charity and support Obsidian and the rest of your favourite creators. So the People event was originally conceived, I do believe, by me, Rambo Robbie, Master of None and Tiny Pirate Gamer, and I'm sure they're going to be taking part in this version, but it was Apex that really came back and said, you know what, let's do it again. This was 3 years ago, way before Grounded even released out of early access. And the idea is that you peep as many creatures as you can, and the people with the most cards that we give points to basically wins. We made it a little bit more interesting at the time that if you got a gold card by killing and looting a bug, then that would give you extra points. So we're reducing maybe the RNG a little bit for this next run, and we're still working out timings, but it'll probably be about an hour and 15 minutes for you to run around on a stream or recorded with no cheats, no mods. We're going to be doing this for probably just about a week alongside some other events which I'll talk about. But yeah, if you're a creator, come join the community Discord. Even if you're not a creator and you just want to hang out and see some of your favourite creators, streamers, YouTubers, or just see what's going on with some of the competition entries and stuff, then do come join. We are going to be doing a building contest. We are going to be doing a fan art contest. This all begins, I do believe, next week, and it should be running for the next 2 weeks leading up to the 7th of November. Then hopefully we'll be able to have a final total to contribute to Obsidian. So do come join Discord for lots more details. The link will be in the comment section pinned. Honestly, the People event, even if you just want to do it alongside us just for fun rather than enter, if you're not a streamer or a creator, it's honestly something really interesting to do. Load of fun like we did it last time. I did about 4 or 5 streams, loads of creators did loads of info about it. But yeah, this time I just figured let's do it with a proper reason. Let's raise some money for charity. Big shout out to Dinky though, he's done the majority of the design work for the stuff like the info and the poster, and the other creators for chipping in with ideas and stuff when we've had some conversations. So there we go, get ready, lots of live streams are Grounded incoming from all your favourites. You as just a community member can get involved by playing alongside us or enter in the building competition or the art competition. More details and the rules will all be explained in Discord. Laters, ratbags!